Have you had a side hustle that actually does not make money for you and you sometimes wonder why? It's because you've been treating it as an extra side hustle instead of treating it as actually a business. In this video, I would like to talk to you about transforming your side hustle into a profitable business. On this channel, I share videos about fashion, entrepreneurship, and how to juggle all this with a full-time job. If you like the sound of that, please subscribe. Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Hilda Gloria, but you can always call me Hilda Glosh. If this is your first time, make sure you do subscribe by hitting the red subscribe button down below so that you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. In this video, I would like to talk to you about transforming that extra side hustle that doesn't give you as much income, that just gives you just a little bit of extra income into a profitable business. If you analyze your business really well, you're going to realize that it's actually not growing because you are treating it just like its name, a side hustle. You always put it on the side. You always put it next after a certain first priority. You always consider it last or next to something. Now, I would like you to change your mindset about this side hustle and actually give it some good priority. Give it a good position in your life. Give it a good position as regards to your effort, time and attitude. That is only when it will be able to transform from where it is right now, not being profitable, to actually a profitable business. And how are you going to be able to achieve that? Number one, acknowledging it as a business. Once you acknowledge that you have started a business, that you actually own a business, your attitude towards it is going to change. Stop taking it for granted and pushing it on the side while giving other things, for example, a full-time job or any other business, first priority. I will give you an example of my business. I didn't acknowledge my business until its second year of business. I didn't think it was going to ever grow into the business it is right now. I actually thought that I was just doing it on the side, and when I got a full-time job, I would actually move on and ignore it. But unfortunately, in its second year, I did acknowledge it and realized that it could actually pay some of my bills. And then after acknowledging it, I started paying more attention, more time and more effort into it. And that is the only way that it was able to produce the results that I actually wanted, or the results that were comparable to where I wanted it to be. I always treated it as a joke. And I always joked about it with my friends that, guys, by the way, I have a side business and I sell bags. And my friends used to joke about it and I used to joke with them about it. I always used to give it a funny attitude. I used to treat it like extra. You know, when you have something extra, that means you already have something full on your table. And the other extra, you can either eat it or not. It's just like you have a big plate of food and then you have something extra on the side. If you eat the big plate of food, it's enough. You don't really need the extra. You can only need the extra if not full enough from your full plate. But then that takes us back to why. Why did you start this business if you're not going to ever acknowledge it? If you always want it to be at a low level, so there's no point starting a business if you never want to grow it. Until you acknowledge your business, you will not treat it as one. You will always think it's something to play about, maybe or maybe not. You will not give it first priority. For as long as you treat it as extra, you're going to only give it extras. For example, you're not going to worry about investing time, investing capital, investing knowledge in the business. You're always going to look at it as it needs, maybe I will work on it when I have extra time. I will invest in it when I have extra income. I will invest in it when I get extra knowledge or when I learn a new skill. So you let it lag behind because you definitely do not acknowledge that it's actually a business worth investing in. And that is going to make it fail or actually stay stagnant. But once you acknowledge that it needs real investment in terms of time, money, knowledge, effort and a good attitude, you are going to be able to build it. Number two is find a business that you would like your company to be like, compare the two and start treating it as that business. For example, having working experience at different multinational companies has given me a great comparison scale for where my business is and where I would like it to be. So I look at all these companies that I admire, where I invest most of the time in my day. I do have a full-time job. I do talk about working full-time and running a business at the same time and how you can be successful at both in a video that I will link down in the description box. But then I do compare these two because I spend most of my day 8 hours at my full-time job. So I have to make sure that I do invest the same amount of energy, even if I don't have the same amount of time to invest in the business, but I make sure that I do invest in the same attitude, the same amount of energy, and the same motivation that I do invest in my full-time job. So please find a company that you would like to compare your company with, see how they do things, compare and see how you can actually incorporate these same things in your company and see how your company is actually going to thrive. I will give you an example. For example, the company I work with and most companies that I've worked with in the past, they do set goals, they do have visions, they have mission statements written down, they do their accounts, they invest a lot in marketing, they do invest a lot in research. I just sat down one day and just thought, if I did invest in my company the same way that this company invests in itself, I think my company would be great. And then I started copying and actually practicing the things that I see being done at my workplace in my business, and it took it to a completely new level. For example, if at your company they do have periodic audits for example, accounts, for example, the different departments, you can start doing that for your company, no matter how small. Just make sure that you're able to incorporate whatever you copy from the big companies. You downsize it to the size of your company, and that is going to really help you, because these companies are built on small disciplines. They didn't start as big companies. They started somewhere as small companies, but went on building onto with these practices that have made them great. And if you have a chance to actually see these companies' documents, see how they work or work in the same companies, I think it is a good idea that you actually copy them and actually incorporate that in your small business. Number 3 is developing habits that encourage you to actually work towards growing your business. For example, small habits like time management, planning. Imagine if you've been wasting about 30 minutes of your morning instead of spending that time on your business. 30 minutes by 5 days is 2.5 hours. Imagine if you had been spending the 2.5 hours per week on your business. It would significantly change a lot. My next point is treating the business like it's already on the journey to greatness. I have a few questions for you. If you are the CEO of your company, how do you treat yourself? How do you present yourself? Are you proud of your company? If you go out in public and people are introducing themselves, for example, I do have a full-time job and I do have a business, but when I'm in public and it has got nothing to do with my day job, I do introduce myself as an entrepreneur, or I do introduce myself as a fashion blogger. Now, if you have a full-time job or you are comparing your company to these big multinational companies that you envision your company to be one day, do you treat yourself as you would treat the CEOs of those companies? How do you show up when you are invited to business engagements? Do you dress up as the CEO of this multinational company that you'd like your company to be like? Once you have all the answers to these questions, you are going to start behaving like you would like to be perceived once your company is a huge company that you envision it to be. Dress up, show up, speak out, present yourself as a big CEO to this company that you see yourself being, that you see yourself becoming. Because you are the first ambassador, you are the greatest ambassador to this business. If you are not proud of it, who is going to be proud of it? If you don't speak highly of it, if you don't represent it highly, who is going to do that? And then you are going to see people starting to respect the business and start paying the business what it deserves. And once the business starts earning what it deserves, you definitely get back more profit. The last point and most important point is pay yourself. Now, nothing is as devastating as investing and getting no returns on investment. First of all, you are the CEO. You are one of the top employees of your small company. So in the budget, include your salary so that at the end of the day, you do not invest in time, energy, and money for free. Your payment shouldn't only end at profit. You should be getting a salary because you actually do work at the company, and that is actually going to motivate you more to put in more input and to actually have more money if you want to add on into the investment. Profit is not your payment, it is a return on investment. So if you're only hiring people to work in the company and you are not working there, then you don't deserve a salary. But if you spend time working, monitoring, supervising, planning, and doing all these things for your small business, honey, you deserve a salary. Pay yourself. And that brings us to the end of this video. I hope that you liked it. Give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, leave me a comment down below. Don't forget to hit the red subscribe button down below so that you don't miss my upcoming videos. Bye!